In this short video, we are going to cover Orgchart and how it is used for scenario planning, organizational design, and change management. First, a few points. The Orgchart application enables what-if scenario planning for organization design, change management, and you can start with a baseline or a current view of the organization as taken from the HRIS data or payroll data. And then you can model the chart to show the desired future state. So you have a starting point, which is the perspective of the organization today, and then you can craft a planning view of the future. So you can see key metrics change as people are added, deleted, or changed. And while the chart objects can be moved to depict the new organization, you'll also see the data and any calculations that are involved change as well. The tracking of any changes is noted. So who made the change, when the change was made, what the change was, all of those things are noted in a tracking pane. And there's also a report that allows you to compare a before and an after scenario and see the differences between the two, to make sure that you captured the intended changes for your future state. Finally, a side-by-side comparison or perspective is available so that you can facilitate the design and change process. So imagine two org charts, one of the before view on the left and one on the after view on the right, and we're going to show you some examples of how that looks. So let's look at a basic org chart for our example for scenario planning. And we start with one that has a head count of 29. So just a couple things to note about this. In the upper right-hand corner, we're keeping some statistics. The total salaries for the organization, an average salary, a head count, which is the total number of people, and then an average span of control. Within each one of the boxes, for those who do have direct reports, we're tracking the span of control and we're tracking the head count for each one and also doing a total on the salaries. For someone who's an individual contributor, we're not tracking span or head count. We're simply showing what their salary is, name and title. And then, of course, as we traverse the organization and go through it, then we're able to see the individuals and their particular attributes. So on the right-hand side, I've set up some conditional formats. So we have our scenario planning set of conditional formats, and here they are, three different types. So there's an individual contributor that has a box or a preview as shown at the bottom, which is name, title, and salary. Then we've got a situation where we've got a manager and the span of control is not excessive. That is, it's not greater than 6. The box will look as shown here in the preview below. And then one of the things for our example that we wanted to show you was how we could set a rule for a span of control that's greater than 6. So let's say we have a maximum threshold that we don't want to go above 6, and in which case, if we happen to do that in our planning, that we'll see the same style box, only it will have a red outline to it. Keep in mind that we have a pane on the right-hand side where we're going to be able to track our changes. So we'll refer to that in a moment. Please also note that we have a staging area on the right-hand side. And within it, we have 3 individuals who are all contractors. In the example that we'll show is the ability to take people that are in this temporary holding area and be able to assign them to a particular group. Now, in the Vice President of Operations organization, we currently have 5 employees. So we can go to the staging area and we can drag an individual here to have them report to the Vice President. And when we do, we see that person's box appear below. If we were to take an individual here, let's take a look at Kevin and have Kevin report to Nicholas. If we do that, you'll immediately notice how the box format changes to show span of control and head count. And if we take that person and we instead move them to report to the Vice President, then we'll see something else interesting happen. We'll see the box that was previously showing the head count and span of control returns to an individual contributor status. And now we see, because we have gone with a span of control greater than 6, we see that Alex's box now has a red outline. So this is an example. As we're going about this, we can say, well, that's really too many people. For Alex, let's just move that person back into the staging area. And as soon as we do that, then we see the red outline go away. Meanwhile, back at track changes, we can see that in this case we have an employee whose ID number 21, 14, 24, and we see where each one of them have been moved to report to a particular individual. So it's tracking the changes for us. The one contractor we brought in had a salary of $119,000. So that increased our total salaries for this particular organization. If we go to the top, we can see what the new total is. So what I'm going to do now, just having added these few people, I'm going to save this as the future state, and we'll do a comparison side by side with the before and after pictures. Under the View menu, we went to Windows and Tile, selected that option, and now we've got the before view and the after view available to us. So let's note at the very top, under total salaries before, and that's as of the Q1, we see $1,809,000. On the right-hand side, for our plan for Q2, having added the contractors, we see $1,928,000. So now if we drill into these organizations, here we can readily see that we have a span of control of 5 on the left and a span of control of 6 on the right. So we immediately see the number of boxes in the before picture was 5 reporting to the manager, and on the right-hand side it's 6. So this is a very simple way in which we can do comparisons of before and after. Now using the compare tool, we're going to do a compare of the before project to the after project, and we're going to see what the differences are. So the simple change that we show in the before picture on the left, it has row number 2, which is empty, and on the right, it shows row number 2 is filled, but all the text is green. Green indicates somebody who's been added. If there's a change, that'll be seen in blue. If there's a delete, that'll be shown in red. So here is a data view showing a quick comparison of exactly what the data was that changed behind our manipulation of the chart images. And of course, all these changes can be exported to Excel. Here we have the source or the before picture and the target or the after picture, and it gives us a full illustration in Excel of the changes that were made. We've kept the side-by-side scenario planning example simple so that you could see the ability to manipulate the chart, the dynamic changes in the data, the change in appearance of the boxes in the chart based on conditional formatting, and ultimately a side-by-side comparison of before and after states of the organization. For additional information on Orgchart and how it can help you with your organization design, change management, and scenario planning, please contact us at orgchartpro.com or sales@officeworksoftware.com.